Hi, I'm Rose Lambert, spiritual mystic alchemist. I'm here to guide you out of any struggles and help you find your higher self, to change your thoughts from negative to positive. No more struggling. Learn to flow with positive vibes. Let's create your dream life. Change your mind, change your life.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Mystic Alchemist, your host for this show. Hello, beautiful souls, light workers, star seeds. This is my second live show, and first time I was unbelievably nervous, and today I'm still nervous, but it's a little better than before. I'm getting used to it. And being a grandmother, never done this before, it's nerve-wracking, but I'm learning because I'm passionate. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna reach out to you, possibly every one of you who wants to be with me to this journey, who wants to learn, share their experience. We're going to do this ascension, rising the vibration. We're going to do this together. We're going to help this world. We're going to help everyone. We're going to help ourselves. And we're going to share our stories. We're going to make this beautiful story for ourselves and for our grandchildren and for future generations. I'm doing my part. Let's do all of us, let's do our parts. I am going to share most embarrassing stories as a grandmother and as a person respected. I shouldn't be talking about it. I should be hiding some of the things. But if it's going to help somebody, if it's going to say, you know what, I'm going through this, and maybe I should happen to Rose, and maybe it's going to help you, you know what, it's worth it. It's worth it for me to embarrass myself. Embarrass one of the millions. It fits it for a good cause. I don't have an ego. Because when you rise up with your consciousness, it's not self-serving, and your ego melts. My ego melted away a long time ago. When you're working with spirits, when you're learning step by step, when you're awakening, your ego fades away. And this point, my only attention is, only thing I want to do is help others, serve others, whichever way I could. Only way I could think of is sharing my stories, sharing my awakening to help the youngsters, because I'm an indigo child. One of the ones first came to this earth, start this starseed generation. And other crystal children, other starseeds came after me. We had tough lives. We had to, because we had to set up an example. My mother, you choose your life when you're coming down. So I must have been choose a very tough life, and I did. obviously. And I born in Turkey, and which is I told you at the first video. I don't want to repeat myself. If you watch the first one, had a very tough childhood. Born and raised on top of the mountains, out of civilization, for carrying of water with the, old-fashioned buckets, collecting rainwater, and no electricity. That kind of lifestyle, growing your own vegetables. I was there up until I was like 6 years old, and then I went to a big city for going to school. I'm gonna fast forward those. I'm gonna come to when I really died, when you're, because this is gonna be 30-minute, half an hour show, and then I'm gonna cover other topic and other half an hour. The writer, spiritual activist, Wayne Dyer, my favorite person, used to say, dying when you're alive. That happened to me, and I want to talk about that. With the extreme stress, extreme sadness, 2017, I had that experience. I saw myself laying in the bed up in Long Island. I basically came out of my body, looked down on myself. I must have been really, kind of traveling out. I said, this woman was really good person, helped everybody, loved everybody, did everything she could. But nobody appreciated her. And she got hurt a lot, especially the people she gave the most, she loved the most, hurt her back the most. And life wasn't fair. People are mean. I wish I had other 15, 20 years I was like looking down on me like I was somebody else. I was out of my body, looking down on me. It wasn't me. Like I was just out. I was like saying, I wish I could tell her story. Then I just, boom, I came back to my body. And then, ding, my phone message came up. And then I looked down on my phone, on my Google search, I read, God is a plan. I guess that, and then after that, supernatural things starts happening. And basically, source took over. Time to time, I had no control over. God took over. God took control. I learned a lot of lessons. I had to learn because I had to wisen up to be able to teach you from my lessons. I had to learn to share. So my lessons started 2017, just like that. And then I started reading, watching Wayne Dyer's, I started watching Wayne Dyer's videos. He's awesome. And I was obsessed. I was so sad, broken down. I was watching and hours. He had this movie, Shift. It was everything he was teaching, everything he was talking, it was like hitting me in my heart, and I was like getting touched. I was like understanding, you know, resonating with me. When that movie he was talking about, when that movie soundtrack was playing, I was in my bed up in Long Island. I got up from my bed. I was living in one of nice homes on the golf course. I was able to watch the sunrise when it's coming up. It was like early in the morning. Listening to on the earphones on my ear. Walk up to my balcony, watching the sunrise. Energy took over. I never ever did yoga in my life. Energy took over. My body was basically taken over. And I was feeling like I had no weight, no bones. I was just like a little ballerina, weightless, doing these yoga moves I never did before, flowing, so peaceful, with the sound of that music Shift from Wayne Dyer's movie, Shift. And when it ended, I did the gesture, namaste, looking at the sun, and the sun kind of winked at me, saying, "Welcome home." And then the knowing inside me saying, like, this is God, this is energy. It's like, I'm home. And then those earpieces just flew out of my ear. It was just like, could happen in movies. Fall on the floor. And then I turned into normal. It's like my body turned into normal. It's like because my body was weightless, and it's like it was like I was just like kind of supernatural feeling, and then I felt normal, and I'm like, wow, what happened to me? I grew up in Turkey, very much seeing Muslim religion. My family never raised me with any religious upbringing because Turkey is a very mixed, backgrounds, and my background is very mixed. Basically, my family told me it's like, believe in God and you choose whatever you want to be when you grow up. And I was spiritual, believe in God, and I never practiced anything. I went to church, I went to mosque, I went to temple, synagogue. I never really called myself to a certain religion. But I never went to Far East, yoga, meditation type of things at all either. And then made me think about it. And then after that experience, I kind of become curious. I start diving into learning into religions. Um, you know, Taoism, Buddhism. Uh, I was curious, why I had that experience. And then more I learn, I realize all the religions are right. Nothing is wrong. To me, it's like with my research, all of you could research your own, you could find your own answers. With my research, with my truth, with what I come to conclusion for myself, I believe back in those days, people needed to believe to having a certain lifestyle where they live. People living in Turkey or Middle Eastern countries or people live in Far East, they need a different type of praying systems. And that's why God sent a different type of information. That was my my English is not so good. Understanding after, because I didn't find anything wrong. They're all right. It's like they're all right. I think it's like I came to a conclusion. If somebody says, I'm religious, I will be say, like, if you're religious, you have to know all the religions, everything. One religion is just saying one kind of religion, like all of them is right. Spiritual people, that's why I believe all the religions, because they're all right. None of them is wrong. They all have some truth. That's why I don't judge anybody. I can't. It's so much to know on this universe. And then also, when I start having these experiences, I had one other experience, like there was so many of them. As the time goes, I will share more and more. One day I went to Manhattan, New York City. I'm standing. I'm everybody. I'm like looking at it, like everybody, black, white, Asian, short, tall, man, woman. I am everybody. And I said, that's how God feels like. And then I start panicking. I said, what's going on? Am I dead? I'm not here. Am I dead? What's going on? And I start crying. At one YouTube video I saw, Jim Carrey had this experience too. He said he loved that feeling so much, he wants to experience again. That feeling like how God feels. I felt lonely. And my grandmother used to say, feeling lonely only God could handle. It's not for the humans to handle. That's a hard feeling. That was too much for me. I couldn't handle it. That was few minutes. I broke down in tears. That to me is I wouldn't want to experience again. that was an experience I wouldn't want to experience. You know, good for Jim Carrey. He wants to experience again. You know, I wouldn't want to experience again. That feeling belongs to God. I experienced, you know, when you go through awakening, spirits, God makes you experience a lot of things, because this is how we learn our lessons. This is how we become teachers. How we learn to humble ourselves. How we get grounded. How we appreciate life. And how we learn how fragile life is, how delicate, how lucky we are, how amazing, how beautiful. This spectacular thing is we call life. I can't take granted. Every morning when I wake up, first thing I do is I meditate. Gratitude. I am thankful for living. God giving me this life, the food, the home, family, friends, this opportunity to reach you all. Every simple things. And then also from the experiences, also I experienced that little simple things, even breathing. I experienced that if God doesn't let us, help us, we can't take other breath. You feel like you forgot, like you can't, like you know you have to take a breath, you just stand there, you can't, you just, it happened, you know, it happened to me many times. And because when you're learning from spirit, you don't have a teacher in front of you. It's silently, with the experiences by happening to you, you learn like that. So actually things happens to your body and then you learn. That's how I learn. If the source, creator, doesn't let me, I cannot even swallow. I can't chew. I can't breathe. So I am grateful I could breathe. I could talk. I could walk. All these are possible by Creator allowing us to happen. These are, we don't think about it every day. We think these are all granted. Very simple things. These are not simple. When time comes, doesn't matter if you give everything you have. To run around, have one more day, give everything you own, you can't. Time is the most valuable thing. And that's only possible with the God's will. And still, we run around. We act, we talk, we disregard. We let our ego win. And we don't appreciate the simple things. Simple things are the biggest things. That's what I learned. From my experiences, I learned biggest things are nothing, means nothing. We can't take it with us. We come to this world to experience. We are not human beings. We are souls. We are energy. We come this world to learn experience. More you learn, we experience, you're actually growing as a soul to be like godlike. Your dimension, you jump dimensions. If you're from 3, you go to 4. If you're 4, you go to 5th. You rise up levels. Money is your house. Can you take it with you? No. Money? No. They stay here. But the things you learn, experiences, feelings, those are the things your soul learns. Those are the things coming with you. Those are the things most important. That's why we are here. That's why we have to pay more attention to love, caring one another, be a nice person. I have a few minutes to wrap it up, and I have other show coming up. I'm sorry if I talked about so much about being, but it's true. I'm talking from my heart. It is very important because that's the actual, try it. If you start thinking those things, you will be the happiest person. Because if you have less money, it doesn't affect you. If you lost your job, it doesn't affect you. If somebody left you, it doesn't affect you. Because you will be the strongest person. If you start realizing God loves you, God created you, God gave you the hands and eyes, and God makes you breathe, and God loves you, Source God loves you. Little simple things, if you start appreciating, you will start to be the happiest person on this earth. And then start helping others, because helping others, helping yourself. And I will share with you how important that is, creating a good karma for yourself. Actually, helping others, helping yourself, don't forget. I'll be back shortly. Thank you. Namaste. Hello, everyone. I am back to talk about my psychedelics medical marijuana experience. Medical marijuana and psychedelics. Psychedelics is like very much an spiritual awakening, important uh, thing used widely. Should be used carefully, and you have to set up safe environment. I want to talk about it, and I want to share my experience. So please be careful, because I almost ruined my life because I didn't set up safe environment. I tried to use medical marijuana. It wasn't illegal. I went to a doctor. I got a medical marijuana license. I start using, but I'm already a high energy person. I'm already high on my energies without any kind of psychedelics. Can you imagine when I start using medical marijuana? I went to different dimensions. It was wonderful. It was great. I mean, I went to different dimensions. I discovered a lot of beautiful things. But it came to a point, I started discovering such a wonderful things. I was enjoying my life. It was great. But I lost my reality in 3 dimension. But I didn't tell my daughter, these people are spiritual. If I start talking, if you start getting scared, if I don't start make sense, talk to these people, take me to spiritual center, or take me to spiritual, take advice on these people. I didn't say anything. I didn't prepare her. When I went to a different dimensions, when I wasn't making sense, when I lost my reality, my daughter got scared. And I lost control. And I wasn't making any sense. And I think I was kind of doing a little recklessly, more than I should. I admit that. And I'm 56 years old, and I was just doing that last year, 55, because it feels good. Because I had the license for it. I had medical marijuana. I had the license for it. Who cares? And I didn't make any sense, and she was scared. She went to court, got my guardianship. She got me Baker Acted. Yep. 3 police officers came to my house. I got handcuffed, put in the police car, taken to the mental health facility. I was with the homeless people from jail, in the mental health facility in Delray. And those people at those facilities don't know, because the reaction, spirituality, and the way the description, I kind of understand, you know, they gave me a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder. And they gave me Invega shot. That has horrible, horrible side effects. They kept me in that place 15 days. It was a horrible experience. It was the toughest, most humbling times of my life. We used to go outside for 15 minutes, seeing little grass, playing little music in the radio. It's like, and some of those homeless people, I could understand. They were also on their spiritual journey. They weren't crazy, but they were held there with the mental illness. Most of the people in that facility, it wasn't their spiritual journey, but they've been held there with the accusation of mental illness, just like I did. And people are so quick to make money off of you when you have unfortunate situations like that, especially if you're doing well, if you have a good health insurance. Because I didn't want to stay there anymore. And I'm doing well, thank God. I did well for myself. And I told my daughter I don't want to be here. She says, well, I told the judge, you're insane, you know, it's like, because I did some videos and I was saying, because of the believing the oneness, she shows those to the judge. It made me look like crazy. It was like kind of out of, I was very high. Yeah, I was high, you know. And when somebody's not spiritual, even if somebody's spiritual, I was out of place. You know, I'm not defending myself. You know, I was high. But if I had spiritual support, somebody could have told me, you know, get your act together, ground yourself, stop taking this, do some grounding work, you know, not doing this legal stuff. Because if you don't have spiritual friends around you, people just going for, you know, trying to get you to, you know, medical help, legal help. If you get yourself into the legal system, you could ruin your career. You know, if I was student, if I was working for a corporate world, you know, it could be a lot worse. I had my own business. I was buying homes. I was designing, decorating, renovating, and flipping it. That was my business. But because my bank account got froze, because when my daughter got my guardianship, court system froze everything. My credit cards didn't get paid. Everything got frozen. My credit score got lower. I mean, everything, my bank accounts are still frozen this moment. It's horrible. It's been over 6 months. Still is a tangled up situation. Please don't get yourself into this kind of situations. If you're high, normally, if you're a spiritual person, if you're doing psychedelics, have support system around you. If you have caring people around you could do this to you, they could Baker Act you, if they could go to court to try to help you, and in the meantime they could end up hurting you. please be careful. Because my bank accounts are still frozen. But thank God the Spirit tapped me. It's like, and I had separated my bank account before this happened. I had a business account separated. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any money to do anything. It's like maybe like a week before, Spirit told me it's like something wrong with your bank. It's like, some kind of security thing. It's like, so you got to close your bank account over there, go open a new bank account. And when I was doing that, I said, might as well, I'll open up a business account. So I split my money into two. When I opened a business account, that was with the business tax ID number. When they were doing the process, locking my assets, they did with my social security number. They locked down all of my personal assets, but they couldn't lock down my business. So I'm surviving with my business account money this past 6-7 months. And I asked the Spirit, I said, well, you saved me financially. Why couldn't you save me from all this? It's like, why couldn't you save me from getting a Baker Act? The answer was, you had some ego left. You need to more humble down. Yeah, that was very humbling down for me. And I'm grateful for that experience and also to share with you guys. And I had to live through. Anyway, from that place, I had to move to, I said, I can't stay here. I need to go someplace else. And they said, there's a rehab center because Judge was holding me there. I said, I can't stay here. They said, there's a place, but there's $1,000 a day. Insurance not paying. I said, okay, whatever, I'll pay for it. I just need to get out of here. I said, okay, 1 week, and then you could get out of here. I went to that place, $1,000 a day, but they already diagnosed me with the schizoaffective disorder. I said, $1,000 a day must be a nice place. They might have a testing. I don't have any mental illness. I could explain my situation. I could get out of there. And I just went to that place, rehab center. Wow, $1,000 a day. You know what they did? They tried to drive me there more crazy. To keep me there 30 days because it was $1,000 a day. They care about money, they don't care about patient. And people over there, they got signature collected. They saying, Rose doesn't belong here. She's fine. There was all people getting alcohol treatments. I don't have any alcohol issues. I didn't even have any marijuana, weed issues either because first time I was using for a couple of weeks and I got myself into trouble. And when they heard my stories, and with my actions and everything, they were saying, she doesn't belong here. She needs to get out of here. And people sign up a petition. And they still, because they wanted to get $30,000. But I said, you know what? It's okay. That $30,000 could have been my last money. Maybe I wouldn't have any other money. They don't care. Some people out there, maybe that's the money, everything I saved up. Maybe that was the last penny I saved up all my life. These people don't care. They want to take everything you have. That's why, please, careful. Don't get stuck in the system. Please be careful. Because when you're going through this spiritual journey, sometimes things very real. And you could be feeling everything is okay. but you could be in different dimension. You could feel safe. But in third dimensional world, you might not feel safe. You gotta make sure you have spiritual friends, your allies. You could help you. You could wake you up, you could shake you up, you could say, just wake up, snap out of it. This is not the reality, snap out of it. Don't talk like that, don't say that. Make sure somebody there to help you. I didn't have anybody like that. I didn't have any mentor. I didn't have any guru. My mentor, my guru was my spiritual guides. I didn't have anybody to go. And I had really hard times. It was very, very hard for me. I mean, I was like discovering certain things. I was getting very excited about it. Like I mean, I'm not saying don't take psychedelics. I'm not saying don't take medical marijuana or anything like that, because I went through some breakthroughs. I mean, I find out some fantastic information. Maybe I would have never, ever able to find out. I'm kind of thankful I did, because sometimes from the worst things we get the best, lessons, information too. But it was an expensive, hard lesson. What I learned was from that, when our souls, actually it was what was worth it was when I was taking this at that time period, when I was very high, when I was traveling to different dimensions, I learned when our soul, energy soul, when it was created in the beginning of the time, when our soul was created, when energy, it's a positive, negative. So on this earth, we have those energy partners. We have some soul energy partners, like twins, carry that. For example, I am positive. I have my negative energy partner somewhere around the world, carries the negative part of me. And these people we can't get close to. When you get too close, you can't be together with these people. It's like it could create, hails, storms. Even the nature doesn't agree with, these two energies getting together. It's, like how like in the car, there's a battery. Like there's a negative part, positive part. If you take that and put it together, what will happen? Not so good, right? You can't put that two energy together. These two people just like that. You can't put these two people together, because these two people has to stay apart. And these kind of peoples, we have few of them. God creates, like half a dozen of them, 6 of them negative, 6 of them positive, and spreads them around the different parts of the world. That's what I learned. I was very excited about it, and I was very thrilled, actually. Even we could never be friends, never be together, but the kind of knowing that kind of information, I was just very happy about it. Something nobody knows, and I just discovered. I was just very happy. Yeah, it's like, but that was an expensive lesson. So let's go back to that using psychedelics. That time period, when I was talking about these people I was talking about, and my daughter thought, I was totally insane because I was talking about these people, and she says, my mom is crazy, you know. And she took actions. She was concerned, and she was right. Poor thing, she didn't know. And now I give her numbers of my spiritual friends, and I give her the number of spiritual center. I said, if you ever get scared, if you ever think, I'm not making sense, please, it's like before you take any action, call these people, and then also talk to me. Mommy, I'm scared, I don't understand what you're talking about it. Don't take any actions. It's like, please talk to your loved ones. If they care about you, it's like, don't get yourself into trouble. But, I want best for you. I am praying for you. All the light workers, star seeds, people going through the awakening. In this world, I want nothing more than for you guys to succeed. I'm here for you guys to, do the best, and we're gonna, one candle at a time. One candle could light up millions. So we're gonna do this. And we're gonna learn our own lessons. We're gonna share. We're gonna help each other. We're gonna grow. We're gonna light up this world, and we're gonna be the lighthouse. All the light workers, we're gonna be the lighthouse and star seeds. How long we have? Uh-huh. See you next time.
Tune in next time to Spiritual Alchemist with Rose Lambert, where we talk about everything spiritual to guide you onto the right path. For more information, contact rosegalson@gmail.com or 786-747-9280. Shalom, everyone.